where are you sitting between numbers?
I'll probably be backstage here.
It really sucks. You gonna take your mask off while you talk?
I probably should, shouldn't I? It'll be a lot
Yeah,
easier.
because they're picking up from back there, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you probably
Okay.
should.
Yeah, okay. Very good. I will.
Well, I will too, then, and I'll put it back on the screen.
Yeah, I guess it's just what we'll have to do. I'm gonna play without it on because I can't.
No.
I just can't deal with it.
Yeah, I can think you could.
Yeah. So, anyway, it is what
But
it
I
is.
know, I mean, we got lots of space.
We do, and
And some of us have been vaccinated.
yes, I'm so glad I have to.
And it, yeah, no, it was just brilliant the way the hospital did it. I mean,
Yeah.
it was so efficient.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
I was impressed.
So, very glad. Anyway, okay, and so, I'm sorry, I know I asked you this already. The first thing that happens is we play. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
right. So first thing that happens is I do
Okay.
welcome to the people, audience.
Okay, you're gonna do
And then I
welcome.
introduce you
Okay.
very briefly, and you can
Okay.
take it from there.
Yeah, okay, so what we're gonna do then, we're just gonna come out and we're just gonna play.
Right.
I would rather, and then we can talk a little bit, and then I can say, thank you for being here today.
Sure.
We're so happy that you're joining us
Yep.
online through the live stream for our
Right.
special
When you
event
finish that
today.
talking, then I will do the first piece of art.
Okay, perfect,
Yeah,
perfect. Yeah, we'll
Cool.
just kind of,
Yeah,
we'll just
yeah.
wing it. It'll be
Right,
fine.
exactly.
Yeah.
You want to be the dog or the pony?
Hey guys, can we have one more music stand out here?
Sounds good in here. Stay home.
See, my dad and them we were chilling, right? But the thing was is that we were like told that like all the residential businesses around us were out, so we didn't get cut off. And if residential, much of houses, businesses, we were like, we weren't sure where we were gonna get back on. So
And let's stand a little bit towards the front, and we may be live at this point, so, yeah, let's just stand kind of in the center, since we don't need the piano.
You're not broadcasting,
We may be broadcasting at this time.
but not this one.
With sound, probably, yes. I'm not 100% sure, just assume that we are.
Oh, yeah, because it's too.
Okay, so 32.
Please go ahead.
Okay, 43,
Mm-hmm.
36,
Mm-hmm.
35.
Got it.
Okay. Okay, very good. And I think we'll just stay out here. Rick is going to talk about the first piece of art, and we'll just wait, and then we'll play after he. So we'll play. He'll. Yeah, he's going to introduce it. And why don't we just stay on stage to connect? Let me get my fiddle. Okay.
Part of my introduction, Colleen, is going to say, after I introduce you, he's going to say he will be introducing each of the selections and the musicians.
Yes.
So you might want to say something before you start playing.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I can change that.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay.
No, that actually, could you, would you mind doing it for us the
Doing
first
what?
time, introducing our first piece?
Oh, no, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, so we'll just,
Right.
we're playing some selections by Bela Bartok,
Yeah, Bella Bartok.
duos for two violins.
Right,
And it
duos.
should show on the screen.
Right.
Yeah, you could say Dance from Marmos, Pizzicato.
Pizzicato, bagpipes, and the Ruthenian Philharmonica. Yep,
Good.
close enough.
I don't.
You're not sure either?
Yeah. so
Okay.
just- yeah, that'll be fine. Let me grab my.
start playing, I would just say, our first piece is Dr. Flores, Dr. Wilkins, blah, blah, blah. Right. And then when I finish that first auction, then I'll bring you back
Okay,
to tell about the musicians.
okay.
Okay?
And you can just say, Dr. Ferguson, why don't you tell us a little bit about me? Just tell me what to do and I'll.
No problem. I was a parent once. Well, actually, I still am, I guess. He may be 50, but you never lose that.
Okay, I believe we're ready.
Will we be given a signal?
Is there a signal to let us know? Is there a signal to let us know when we're live and when we are beginning?
I can tell them.
We're ready. So we're good?
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Kingsville Symphony Orchestra's fundraising concert entitled Music Art. The concert is being brought to you live from the recital hall of the campus of Texas A&M University-Kingsville. During the concert, you will hear several solo and ensemble pieces assembled by the KSO, and between each piece, I will be describing items available at the virtual auction site. You can see those items at the top right of your screen while I'm describing them. You can also see them live in the Ben Bailey Art Gallery here on campus. The auction will continue until February 28th. The art has been generously donated by 10 artists, and we would like to express our sincere appreciation to each of them for their willingness to share their talent with us for this fundraising event. And now, without further ado, let us begin with Dr. Colleen Ferguson and Dr. Jose Flores doing duets for two violins from Bela Bartok, the dance from Marmaris, pizzicato, bagpipes, and the Ruthenian Kolomaica. Drs. Ferguson and Flores.
for joining us this afternoon. We are so pleased to welcome you to our recital hall on our virtual live stream today. And we are so pleased to get to present some wonderful music and some wonderful art for you. I am Dr. Colleen Ferguson. I am Assistant Professor of Strings and Orchestra here at Texas A&M University-Kingsville. I also conduct the Kingsville Symphony Orchestra. And my colleague on stage here is Dr. Jose Flores. He is Professor of Violin and Strings at Texas A&M University Corpus Christi, and he plays concertmaster for us with the Kingsville Symphony Orchestra. So we are just so thrilled to be able to share some of this wonderful music and art with you today. And we really hope that you will go online and take a look at our auction for the artwork so that you can see each of these pieces and have the opportunity to own one of them for your very own and keep it in your home with you. So without further ado, I think Dr. Miller is going to tell us about some of the artwork.
Thank you, Colleen. So the very first piece on your screen is Family Piano. It's a glassy print by Todd Lucas. Todd received his Master of Fine Arts degree from Stephen F. Austin State University and later taught there before taking a position here at Texas A&M Kingsville. He has exhibited in regional, national, and international shows, and his prints and sculptures and lectures to numerous audiences across North America. Currently, he serves as professor and chair for the Department of Art, Communications, and Theater. And additionally, he serves on the board of directors for the Texas Association of Schools of Art. The bidding starts on his piece at $100. Thank you. Colleen.
So our second musical selection for you this afternoon is another violin duet, Concertante, and it is by a violinist, Charles Auguste Barrio, and we are going to play without further ado.
Next piece of art is called Fabienne playing a rebec. A rebec was an instrument that was brought to Europe from North Africa into Spain and then spread throughout the medieval world. It was popular well unto the Renaissance and ultimately was replaced with the lute. Now, the artist grew up in Houston, Texas, and when in high school played viola in the Houston All-City Symphony Orchestra. His motivation for taking up art came after working for 15 years in Europe. He came back to a visiting professorship at the University of Arkansas, but it was months before he could bring any of his household goods. And so he needed to put something on the walls, and that's where he began to draw and to paint. So the art that you see here is a pen and ink drawing, and it is drawn on sheet music. Colleen?
While we get set up for our next musical selection, I would like to introduce some of our student performers today. We have Jerry Taylor on flute, and Jerry is a music performance major, and she is a senior here, and her career aspirations include teaching music and being a professional musician. She's hoping to get a master's of music in performance and a minor in arts administration. We also have Jasmine Hinojosa on the clarinet. Jasmine is also a music education major in her second year here at TAMU, and her career aspirations include teaching music. Oscar Hernandez is a bassoonist, and he is also in music education in his 3rd year of study. He hopes to one day be able to lead a professional orchestra as their conductor and to be invited as a guest conductor for the world's leading orchestras. David Reyes on horn is pursuing a master's degree in music performance. He is a first semester graduate student here, and his aspirations include being a horn specialist, educator, and performer. Additionally, Gabriella Beltran is our oboe player on the next musical selection. Gabriella is a oboe performance major here, and she is also the winner of our most recent student concerto competition here, and she will be featured as one of our soloists on our April chamber concert. So I think we're just about ready to welcome our woodwind ensemble in their performance of Umoja.
While they're getting set up for the next piece, let me talk a little bit about the next piece of art, which is Turkish Three Delights in Earthenware Ceramics with Decals by Fulden Wissinger. Fulden is an associate professor of art here at Texas A&M University-Kingsville. Her heritage is European, mixed with Byzantine and Seljuk Ottoman culture. She grew up in Istanbul. Living in one of the world's most exotic cultural crossroads created a delight for diversity and a hunger to venture into the world to experience ever more. She attempts to reflect this in her work by fusing together visual elements that have opposing qualities, thus creating harmony out of dissonance. After a decade of working as a graphic designer, she decided to turn her visual skills toward exploring what she is about and how her past affected her. Quite by accident, and very much to her surprise, she found herself gravitating to clay. For her, clay most directly captures the fluid energy while requiring patient, methodical manipulation. She prefers to make wall pieces that use 2D sensibilities. Her pieces mix motifs from past cultural references with her graphic design background. Strong texture against clean edges creates a sense of tension. She views this juxtaposition of rigid geometry and animated, organic as a metaphor for the interplay of opposing forces that enlivens Turkish culture. Turkish Three Delights. Colleen?
For our next musical selection, it will be a piece entitled Hot Spots by Daniel Dorff, a living composer. There are two movements in this piece, Sunsplash and On the Beach. Our performers are Miss Gabriela Beltran for the English horn and Mr. Kevin Perez on clarinet. Kevin is a music education major in his third year of study here at TAMU, and his career aspirations are still developing, but he aspires to become a band director here in Texas in the future. Please enjoy Hot Spots.
Our fourth piece of art is entitled Reminiscing on My Symphony, Bryson Oliveras. It's done in Indy ink, alcohol markers, acrylic paint, and gouache. Bryson is a senior art major with a minor in psychology and is having his senior show upcoming this fall and graduating in the fall of 2021. The piece combines both his newfound love of art with the forgotten love of music he had while in high school. All of the instruments that you see on the painting are ones that he played in high school: bassoon, oboe, bass guitar, gutturan, clarinet, and bass clarinet, as well as color guard in the background. The mediums he used, as I said, Indy ink, alcohol markers, acrylic paint, and gouache. And now for our next piece. We are ready.
our next selection for you this afternoon is actually a piece for piano and violin by César Franck. And it's probably one of the most popular pieces for pianists and violinists to play together. And it should be noted that the composer specifically writes the piano first in the title. It is quite a significant part for the piano. And so it's chamber music, and the piano and violin have equal roles as soloists and collaborators in this piece. And I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce Dr. Si-Hee Lee, one of our fabulous pianists here at TAMUG. And Dr. Lee plays regularly with the Kingsville Symphony Orchestra and performs with many of our students on student recitals and with faculty on faculty recitals here as well. So we feel very fortunate to have Dr. Lee with us today. Thank you.
Ah, wasn't that lovely? I have to say that when we were planning this concert, I begged Colleen to include that piece. It's been a favorite of mine for just about 62 years. So, and I was very grateful that she did. So let's take a look at our next piece of art by Omar Gonzalez. This is called Musical Motion. Omar is a printmaker. He's currently pursuing his Master of Fine Arts degree at UTSA. Previously, he obtained a Master of Business Administration and a Bachelor of Fine Arts right here. Apart from his numerous group exhibitions throughout the region, his work is included in collections located at the National Museum of Mexican Art in Chicago, the Mexican Art Museum in Austin, the Zuckerman Museum of Art in Kennesaw, Georgia, and his work has also been located in France, Germany, China, and Australia. So, Omar Gonzalez, and the name of that piece is Pax, Musical Motion. All right, Colleen, for our next selection.
For our next musical selection, we have another one of our wonderful concerto competition winners. And this is Miss Karen Colchado, and she's a vocalist. She is a music education major with an emphasis in voice, and she is in her senior year here at TAMUK. Her career aspirations include planning on furthering her education and obtaining a master's degree after graduation. Ms. Colchado will be singing a traditional spiritual called Give Me Jesus. It is arranged by Moses Hogan. Thank you.
The next piece of art on your screen is by Jesus de la Rosa. He was raised in the Rio Grande Valley and Nuevo Progreso in Mexico, and spent his early life traveling across the United States-Mexico border as a result of his parents working in Mexico and living in Texas. His borderland experience plays a pivotal role in his art. As an associate professor of art here, he teaches courses in printmaking and graphic design. His artwork has been reviewed and featured in numerous publications. His work is held in museum and private collections. De La Rosa exhibits his artwork throughout the United States and abroad in solo, juried, and invitational exhibitions. His work was selected to be part of the 12th annual Young Latino Artist Exhibition in the Mexican Art Museum and the MAS Barrientos Mexican American Culture Center in Austin, Texas. His print book, Borderlands, was selected to be part of the International Touring Exhibition Monumental Ideas in Miniature Books 2. It toured 8 international venues and over 40 national galleries. The piece is entitled Pax. It is a silk screen on Linux paper and mounted on PVC. And now for our next musical selection.
For our next musical selection, we have our third and final concerto competition winner, flautist Mr. Herminio Mendez, and he will be performing 2 movements from a flute sonata for piano and flute by Francois Poulenc.
Our next piece of art is a metal sculpture entitled Treble Clef by Nathan Miller. Nathan Miller grew up in Europe, came back to the States to attend Northwestern University, and now lives in Dripping Springs with his wife, 2 sons, 1 in college, and 2 dogs. It's also why his grandmother and I moved to Texas in the first place. Most of his career has been working in hotels, and he's currently the IT manager at the Driscoll in Austin. About 5 years ago, he built a small foundry and started recycling metal. What started as a conservation effort turned into an obsession with metal casting. He works exclusively in discarded metals, mostly aluminum, but also brass and copper. This piece was inspired by his love for music. He initially carved the treble clef from some discarded insulate foam. He then inserted old coat hangers, buried it in green sand, melted old barbecue trays and beer cans in the foundry, and poured that into the foam. It burns away, leaving the metal in the shape that you see it on your screen. And now, back to the music.
We are so pleased to be able to bring this concert to you today, and we encourage you again to go on to our kingsvillesymphony.org website, and you can view the artwork that Dr. Miller has been describing for you. And again, you can bid on that, and we hope that you will check that out. Also, concerts like this rely on the generous support of our patrons like yourselves, and so we also would encourage you to consider becoming a patron of the Kingsville Symphony Orchestra, and you may do that again by visiting kingsvillesymphony.org, and there will be some links that you can click on to support the orchestra and ways for you to become a patron. No donation is too large, no donation is too small, and we certainly appreciate all of our generous support from our wonderful patrons. The next musical selection we have is by our principal bassist, Mr. Roger Graves. Roger comes to us from Austin. As you know, many of our professional musicians come from all around the South and Central Texas regions, and Roger is with us today from the Austin area, and especially considering the extraordinary weather we've had lately in Texas, we're very, very pleased that Roger was able to join us today. Roger will be playing a couple of selections for us. He will be playing some unaccompanied music for the cello and arranged for double bass by Johann Sebastian Bach. It will be the Bourrée and Gigue. And Roger will also play a piece entitled Andante by Sergei Koussevitzky. And Dr. Lee will accompany Mr. Graves on the Koussevitzky.
Next piece of art is Coping with Beautiful Vanity by Rufino Austin Lozano. He's a student in the art department here at Texas A&M Kingsville. He made his violins in clay as a metaphor representing how many kinds of dreams can become twisted and distorted. They show what he sees in others and are taken from his own personal experiences. Some of these violins represent passions that were twisted into obsession. Some represent a love that is seated in anger, and some represent the hollowness that comes from rebellion after achieving the dream one set out for and realizing too late how this will not bring happiness. Coping with Beautiful Vanity. And here comes the marimba.
So our final musical selection this afternoon involves quite a bit of large equipment, which we're very excited about. So if you'll just bear with us as we make some adjustments to our stage here. And again, I would just like to thank all of you for joining us on the live stream today. And if you enjoyed this concert, again, we hope that you'll consider bidding on some of our wonderful artwork that we have available. The bidding auction will remain open, I believe, for
28th, not a week.
until the 28th of February, so through the end of the month. So you have plenty of time to make your selections and make your bids. And again, we invite your donations. It is our benefit concert today, our fundraiser concert. So again, we invite your generous donations of any amount, and we are very grateful for your support. I'd also like to thank our stage managers today who have been helping us with all of our moving around. Fellas, do you want to just come quick on stage and just say hello? Thank you. We have Penny and Marcos and Christian. They've been wonderful. They've been wonderful. So we appreciate them very much. They're also students here with us at TAMU. So Dr. Miller is going to tell us about one more piece of art. Two more. We have two more pieces of artwork.
Right. So the first one is Una Melodia by Amado Pena, who was born in Laredo, Texas in 1943. He studied art and education at Texas A&I, that used to be us, where he received his bachelor's and master's degrees. He is a mestizo of Mexican and Yaqui ancestry. His art celebrates the strength of a people who meet the harsh realities of life in an uncompromising land. And his work is a tribute to the Native Americans who survive by living in harmony with an adversarial, untamed environment. His artwork is defined by its bold color, form, and dynamic composition. Throughout his art, he communicates his vision of a land, its people, and their art. He is recognized as an artisan of the Pascua Yaqui tribe of Arizona. This is a particularly high honor that he cherishes. And our last piece of art is by Arnold Gonzalez. Arnold's artistic career has spanned 5 decades. His work has encompassed a wide range of styles, including abstract, portraiture, landscape, and superrealism. He has worked in many media, including acrylic oils, pencil, pen, and ink. His art has been showcased in numerous one-man shows, in public spaces, a national exhibition, and print and news media. His primary goal as an artist is to create work that will reach out and connect with his viewers. His work aims to inspire, challenge, and provoke his audience to reflect on what they see on the canvas, be it memories of loved ones, their personal emotions and experiences that the piece evokes. His composition today is entitled Miriam, and it is a ballerina backstage. We'll have one more thing for the auction, but I'll save that until after we've heard the music. Thank you.
So I'll just take this opportunity to introduce our final performing group this afternoon, our Kingsville Symphony Orchestra percussion section. We're very excited to have them with us today. We have Mr. Gabriel Gallegos, Ms. Megan Trevino, Ms. Josephine Martinez, and Mr. Eric Cano. All of these folks here on stage are students here at the university, and we are just very pleased to have them, and I will let them perform for you.
So one final thing. We have a conductor's baton donated by Colleen, the same kind she would use for conducting the symphony. The point of all this is that the winner gets to conduct a piece of music with the Kingsville Symphony Orchestra at a future concert. So you might definitely want to bid on that. And then let's bring back Colleen for a final word.
Yes. All right, so our final auction item this afternoon is an opportunity for you to conduct the Kingsville Symphony Orchestra. So it's bid on the baton. I think the auction item is called the conductor's,
Baton.
simply called the conductor's baton. And we will have a genuine baton for you to keep as a souvenir item and to use as you conduct the Kingsville Symphony Orchestra. And that will likely be on our 4th of July patriotic celebration concert, and that will be July 4th, of course, this summer. So we hope that you will take an opportunity to bid on that item. We'll be excited to welcome you as our guest conductor in July. I'd also like to take the opportunity to let you know of some performances that are coming up for us. We have a performance in March, on Sunday, March 21st, and that will be our spring welcome concert. So we'll have some really wonderful repertoire to perform for you at that time. Some very memorable melodies, which is the theme of our season this time. In April, on April 18th, we will feature our student concerto competition winners in our Rising Virtuosi concert. And so that will be on April 18th. For more information about all of these performances, please visit kingsvillesymphony.org.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. Miller. Thank you.